Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hi, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Married at First Sight Australia, Chris. Season 9, episodes 1 through to 4. Now, Chris, we love this series, don't we? And of course, love doing a terrible Aussie impression. Although, Chris, I still maintain that's pretty much how Alf from Home and Away used to speak. None of this lot do, they're normal people. But Chris, it's good to be back, isn't it?
It is, to be fair, Dave. And what a show. I mean, I said to you, it was probably my favourite show of 2021. It was a revelation. Only ever dipped my toe into the odd episode and never really sat down and properly watched the series. But what a series. The UK one was great. That was my first introduction properly watching it from start to finish, and I enjoyed it. But when we got into the Aussie one around October, and I know it had already been previously on in Australia, so we were sort of coming, we didn't know anything, but we came to it late because it was on late in the UK. But with this one, oh, Dave, I was thinking, is it going to be as good? And we are covering the first week, aren't we? And it's been amazing already. I cannot wait for the next episode.
The Aussies just bring it, don't they? They just bring the drama. Now, I guess we'll get into the couples in a sec, but what I would say is I felt like the first 2 episodes in particular, not my favorite. I'm kind of semi-interested in the whole scientific way of matching couples and everything, but I think we've established that that's all bollocks, and they just put some of the couples together for comedy reasons and to create a bit of drama. So, so I'm kind of like, I just need to power through these particular episodes and get to the good bits. And like episodes 3 and 4, I felt we're getting back up to it. Not quite yet. I do think the dinner parties are they're the cherry on top. They're the best bits about this franchise. But yeah, it was just great. And to meet these new couples, see some of the same trials and tribulations that they go through, I was just loving it, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely top draw stuff, Dave. So where do you want to start with? Which couple, Dave, do you want to have a chat about?
Well, let's, because we're going through like the 4 episodes, we won't plod through each one. I'll choose a couple, then you choose a couple, and we'll just, for each couple, we'll just discuss any particular points, any things that came up for you. And so, I guess the first couple was Selin and Anthony. And I have to say, Chris, in episode 1, I am thinking, oh my God, we previously in the different series that we've watched, we've said, they need some more mature people, experienced a bit of life. And, let's see that rather than people who are like 24 on Love Island and haven't even, experienced that much of adulthood yet. And yeah, I was thinking, oh my God, this couple are going to go far. Well, that was on a reality radar level of misfire, to be honest, Chris, because fuck me, they went south pretty damn quick, didn't they?
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? I'm like you. So like you say, we go with them first, and you're like, I thought Selin, really pretty girl, Greek origins. She does a belly dance for Anthony at the wedding, doesn't she?
Was she like, Greek? I thought she was Turkish.
Turkish, Dave, Turkish apparently. Belly dance. Oh my God, yeah, I should know that. Our stadium roads, which is the last 2 years, which is about a mile away from Turkey. But anyway, Dave, yes, she's Turkish belly dance. What an idiot, Chris. Anyway, but she's showing her heritage. It shows her family before. I thought she was really pretty, Dave. I said to Sam we watched, I said, God, she's really pretty, attractive girl. Anthony had it going on. They've both got children. He's a professional wrestler, so that pricked my interest. I was like, oh, yeah, nice. And it looked like the ultimate match made in heaven. And I'm thinking, what a contrast to the other couple in their episode, which we'll get into. I was thinking, well, these are the ones who are going to go on and romp it. They're going to absolutely win it. Like Johnny and that other girl from Series 8, the Aussie one. I was thinking, oh, these are in it. These are in it for the long game, Dave. And you're right. The reality radar said, it went to shit. Like, badly. So much so that Selin was doing off-camera shit like that couple where they had the big Viking from the Series 8, the Aussie one, where she was like, let's just stay a bit longer for the cameras. Let's just pretend so we get more of a holiday and more exposure. Because if it's true what Anthony's saying, and she didn't deny it, she was wicked. She did apologize, didn't she, slightly? But the comments that she said off camera, we haven't seen them, were wicked if they were all what she'd said.
Well, there was a bit of a build-up to that, wasn't there? But
yes,
I mean, eventually he ends up storming off, doesn't he? But I thought there was a bit of build-up, which I'll come back to. But he was basically saying, "Oh, you're going to have a little boohoo, princess, and you're going to cry for us, princess, and what have you." And basically just sledging the bloke, And I was thinking back to that same couple. I can't remember what their names are, but she was on about him not washing his hands, like, oh, only with water, I can't remember. She called him some name, but yeah, it reminded me of that. But you'd seen right after the wedding day, I thought she had a fucking face on her, like all the time. And the thing with the whole, you're going to have a little boohoo princess. Whenever we watch these series, all the reality stuff, you're watching people and then you see the events as they unfold. And when they describe those events elsewhere, it's always sugar-coated, isn't it? Or softened. It's always a bit better. And you're like, but we saw it. It was much fucking worse. But the way you're speaking about it, it doesn't sound as bad. I think the way Selin is saying it, she's saying that, well, yeah, it's called her a princess and what have you. But I suspect it was quite fucking toxic. And she probably, to even say that, she probably really went for him kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think there's any coming back for that couple because I think he's in there, because he probably believes the lie that this is, for actually finding love and whatever, not just great reality TV drama. But I mean, what did he reckon though to that build up before that blowout?
Well, I don't think he did himself any favors when it's like, would you like me to do an aeroplane with the food?
Yeah,
you can see her.
He didn't actually say the words, did he? But, no, but I was thinking, here comes the aeroplane. I was like, oh, mate, you're fucking...
dickhead. I was the same, like, oh, there we go. You can see a look like, oh, my God. Is this... So this is where, when you're watching these shows, the realism of people faking it completely. Now, Selin come across as such a lovely lady. I'm not saying it's all down to her because he was acting up. He was being a bit of a dick, a bit of a slapped ass. But the way he went, Dave, I loved it. It was very reminiscent of the last series. And I was thinking when the gym guy got with, oh God, I should know all the names, Sean. It's been that long, but and he's
not the amount of series we cover.
Well, yeah, true. But the gym guy won it. He was a complete dick. And Sam was it Sam in Maths Australia, the one the bald head he copped off with? Is it Sam's missus?
Oh, is it Cameron?
Cameron, that's it. Yeah, Cameron. And it's one of them where you're just like, what is going on here? Here we go. It's kicking off. I was all for it, Dave. Absolutely all for it.
But the reason I'm putting the blame more in her court, I agree. The whole fucking feeding her, like on day one, pretty much, or day one after the wedding was a bit much. But when they were having the whole pottery day, it was a bit of a ghost type thing, when all Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore there. And she like puts a bit of clay on his face in a playful way. And then Dumb and Dumber style, he takes it a bit too far and puts clay in her face. But fuck me, you'd have thought he'd pinned her down and like shoved fucking clay in her mouth or something. The way she reacted, I was just like, oh, you've got a nasty streak to you. And she was not happy. And then, he got the ump then, didn't he? So he's like not happy in the ride back and everything. And I was thinking, for fuck's sake, you two, I have my fucking hopes pinned on you. I always think,
Yes.
I know this is all bollocks, but I always think, no, some of them do find love, 1 in 10 or something. I thought this was you. And I was just like, fucking hell, this went south so quick. I don't recall another example where it's gone, to shit, basically, to a walkout so quick as these two.
I agree. And I think it was weird because there was one little bit, and I think it was the second episode, when they were going to sort of like the overnight stay thing. And he had the audacity to hold the door and hold the bags for her and carry everything. And she's like, yeah. I'm not used to this. And I'm like, fuck. And me and Sam's going, that's what you want. You want someone who's going to be attentive, pick your bags up for you. I know you're independent. You've not been in a relationship for a long time. But why are you on the fucking show if you've actually got a guy? And I'm not saying Anthony's perfect at all, Dave, because there was plenty there we can pick holes in. But I thought his intentions on camera were quite honourable. I don't know where they go from this, but what a great start to the show, because I was like you, I'm buying the fucking hat. I'm ready to go full Cilla Black here and everything. How wrong was I, considering the polar opposite of the couple who were on their episode, Tamara and Brent? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it was night and day, wasn't it? And I don't know, I guess, Bryce walked out almost every episode last season, didn't he, for a while? So
yes,
I guess there's a chance that they could come back. But Anthony doesn't strike me as the sort of person who would hang around for the fame, and the producers would have to do a really big job. If you think like Bryce, he was there for his kind of radio presenting career, wasn't he? He knew getting on screen more, or the more time he was on screen, the better his career would be.
Yes.
Turns out not to be the case, but you have to actually not be a total dick to make that work. But
I love that,
Anthony doesn't seem to be in it for that. So I think he might have just walked full stop. I mean, who knows, Chris? I guess we'll see next week. But I mean, who do you want? Which couple do you want to go to next? You mentioned one there.
I've mentioned one, and I know we said we're going to go for couples, but so this is what made me laugh. The first episode, Anthony's selling, I am all in, and we get introduced to them. They have their wedding, but we also get Tamara and Brent, who, fuck me, Tamara, I thought, oh my God, it's Beck 2.0. She was wicked. She was, her VTs were horrible. She had a friend there who was just backing her up for a bitchy, horrible behavior. I mean, Brent, he's a nightclub guy. He worked in Dubai. It all fell apart in COVID. He's had to come back to Australia. Successful guy. He's not some guy selling cocktails or selling roses in a nightclub.
Fucking giving out flyers in front of a nightclub.
They did that stupid power walk thing where she's in the office and she's like, yes, I'm this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, no. And she's giving it the big one about how she wants somebody. And she's like, he works at nightclubs. I work 9 to 5. And I'm like, and I'm genuinely at this point, I've written in my notes, the fucking matchmakers are shit again, because I was like, you're just literally pinning a fucking tail on a donkey with fucking your eyes closed, because it's just like, oh, that'll do. And they made no sense. But by the end of the 4th episode, Dave, I was a believer, my friend, I've got to say.
They almost did the opposite. I'm not sure I'm quite a believer, but I was impressed with the journey that they went on, to be honest.
Yes.
Same as you. From that episode 1, I'm like, Tamara, you are horrid. You are absolutely horrible. And I don't know if it's a terrible job putting these two together. I think they know that Tamara's outspoken. She's opinionated. She's going to be great for reality TV. So stick her with anyone. And, you should get some reality TV gold there. I don't think it was a terrible match, even from the start, because Brent could give it back a little bit. And I think that's what Tamara kind of invites. If you'd have stuck Tamara with someone like Anthony, say, then she'd have walked all over him.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think that's the problem, is when you've got these couples and how they mix up, I don't know how they do it, Dave. I don't know how they come up with this theory and they're like, this person wants this person wants that. But it was great TV, really was. And I've got to say, Dave, not picking anybody out, there's some great beats on these people there. You know, a connoisseur of the big nose, there was some proper schnozios going on in this series, big time.
I thought when you said she was giving it the big one, I was like, is that a nose joke?
Yes, it is a nose joke, Dave. And someone
terrible with it. Fuck me. The hate mail is going to be on its way. That's fucking terrible.
Not just shut up, Dave. I know my nose is big. I was laughing, thinking there's a chance for me on these shows. If I was ever a single again, Dave, and there's a chance. And you know what? Funny enough, have you seen The House of Gucci? Have you seen it?
I have not. I've heard about it.
So we've just watched it. We watched it. It's a good 2.5 hour long. Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Kylo Ren. I love Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born. She's brilliant. And there's another woman in it who's a French actress. I tell you what, Dave, I've missed my calling. All three of them have got a schnoz on him. And this French woman's got a bigger nose than me. Because I went, well, she's got a bigger nose than you. It looks like a plasticine nose. Adam Driver's got a big conch on him. What a great film, by the way. I'd recommend it to anyone. But it was just like literally the convention of noses. I was watching this movie. Ridiculous statement, I know. But anyway, I don't want any more hate mail.
The band and stuff. When we were in the band and stuff, it never occurred to me. I never associated you with having a big nose at all. And so when you go on about it, I like, no, it's just picking on a part of his body there. Chris, the amount of refaces that people have sent through in that, and they've stuck you on, I'm like, oh, right, okay. There's something about that reface app. It accentuates your nose. I am just waiting. I keep searching. They haven't got the latest Married at First Sight on reface yet that I can see, but I'm just waiting till I can put your face on Tamara's body.
Oh, we'll have to release some of them because Blake, our friend off the VHS Strikes Back, he's a film student at uni and everything, and he's so talented. And he's put some, I don't know you can do the reface stuff, but some of the things he's put me and you on, Dave. And you always look great. Whoever you get picked as, it always suits you. And I'm like, fuck off there. And I've always got, even though I haven't got really a thin face anymore, I've got a thin, gaunt face with a pickaxe fucking schnoz. Every time, no matter who. There's Jennifer Grey, Sarah Jessica Parker I've seen, which I don't think he's put in the group. He's put different actors on there. I've had everything, and it looks ridiculous on my face. There's probably one or two that suit me. Everything else looks stupid. But you always look perfect, Robert Downey Jr.
I think the one or two, I think you're absolutely right. The one being Jennifer Grey, the other being Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, yeah. So good.
It's very good.
I honestly, I say it as a joke, guys. Honestly, please don't give me a load of shit for it. It's a joke because I can pick fun at myself. I just think it's hilarious when you see it. But anyway, Dave, let's get off the nose, the nose train, shall we say. Tamara and Brent, I'm with you. He wasn't having it. His friend was sat there like, fuck this, what are you doing? He had to take a minute, come back. But as the journey was really nice. And when we get to like the 4th episode, and they were having a chat. I mean, he hates feet. They made her put a foot on his knee, and he's kneeling down, and he was fucking fuming. I was pissing myself, Dave. And then she's joking with him later on, trying to put a foot in his face, and he's like, oh, but they were laughing, and he's literally falling out of the bed. That's when a proper relationship is. She really, I don't know whether she gets worse and takes a nosedive, but it felt like there was a real connect. Just realize what I've said.
Oh God! I was like, did he say that on purpose? Oh dear!
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That's right. Anyway.
So, I think I think she's what we saw in these episodes is like a thawing out. So she's used to having that front on. She's probably used to been dating guys who are, basically after a physical relationship and nothing else. So she's got this harsh exterior on, but through actually getting to know Brent and him not taking any shit, him giving back a bit of shit without being, aggressive or anything. I think that's what we saw. I'm believing it, Chris. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm thinking that this might actually be developing on a more normal path than what we normally see.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, Dave, what other couple should we have a chat about them? What couple caught your eye?
Well, let's go next to Ella and Mitch.
Yes.
Now, by God, this is a good-looking couple, isn't it, Chris?
Oh gosh, I mean, she is beautiful, Dave. Stunning girl, and what a good-looking guy. He looks like Ken, Barbie and Ken, doesn't he? He is literally a throwback from the 80s or something, the way he just looked. There's such.
I was thinking the 80s. He looks like an 80s pop star. He could be the drummer for Bros, Chris.
Yes.
That's how good looking he is. So probably people listening, who the fuck are Bros? Ask your mum and dad. But yeah, and when he walked in, I can't remember. There's the other guy, isn't there? Was it Al or something? When they were having the stag do, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm the best looking bloke here." Then Mitch walks in, he's like, "No, I'm still the best looking bloke here," but you can see he was rocked a little bit. But no, I think Ella and Mitch, I think we'll get a good few weeks of just being physically into each other and lusting after each other. And that'll get them a fair way. We'll get them at least halfway through this, I think. There was the UK couple, wasn't there? Yeah, the guy wasn't he from Darlington or something? And she was from further down south. And when she went to visit his house, she was like redecorating it all.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the electrician, the one, they were like the favourites to win it, weren't they? The really good looking couple. Oh, gosh, yeah.
But I kind of feel like if you've got a couple of people, they're at the same point in life, sometimes that's the same age, sometimes it's not, they're hot. That gets them so far, So I think this couple will do well. And I tell you what, Chris, Ella, wasn't she saying she didn't have a boyfriend? Meaning I guess she's not had a relationship that's longer than 2 weeks or something. She was saying she had a 3-day rule, no sex until 3 days. Fucking hell, she looked like she was suffering for that rule for quite a bit. She was absolutely, it looked to me like she was fucking gagging for it. And then, like, the morning after when they finally did it, she's like, "Oh yeah, it's good with his hands." It's like, all right, we fucking know you've had a finger blasting. You don't have to tell us that as well,
Well, no. You're assuming there, Dave.
I think it's a pretty solid ground assumption, though, isn't it? He's like, "Oh yeah, it's good with his hands."
Yeah, but he could have been making an omelette or something, Dave. You know what I mean? Right, anyway, I agree with you. But what chemistry? As soon as Ella saw Mitch, she was like, "Holy shit!" And I was laughing. There was a bit there where Mitch is in the shower and she's like, "You're doing a bit of Magic Mike," and he's got the towel. Then he's doing an upside down handstand naked. You know what I mean? Like, it was just.
Thing is, Chris, I'm too old for this shit, as Danny Glover would say. I was thinking, well, I hope there's a fucking mat down because you could hurt yourself there. You could fall over and hurt yourself.
But there was one that the chemistry was undeniable. And this 3-date rule, they're fucking married at the end of the day. I'm not saying she should do it the first night, but when he was massaging her, Dave, I was thinking, oh my God, these two are going to need a cold shower. And then eventually she admitted that they did do the deed and there was just chemistry there. Like you say, is there anything beyond that physical attraction? Because what a great looking couple. I'm all in on Ella and Mitch. I hope they last the distance, but knowing this show, Dave, they probably won't. And when we get to the dinner party, this is where we get the bit of cheating and the bit of people look at other couples and things like that, don't we? We've had this on some of the other shows where people have had affairs and alleged affairs because they're married. One thing I did notice though, Dave, a lot of them didn't have wedding rings on. Didn't have them on the wedding finger.
Oh, really?
Yep, quite well, all of them really, from what I could see. I didn't see a lot of them had a ring on the middle finger. Mitch did, I think Ella did. They didn't have them on the wedding.
Well, he's good with his hands, isn't he? He's got to take his ring off every
now, Dave. For me to rein you in, that must be a close one anyway. But no, I just think with them, perfect couple at the moment. I've not seen anything to warrant that. They came in the second episode and we had 2 episodes to get used to them. Really good. However, I thought Dominica and Jack, another couple, they look really sweet as well. They're both Italian descent. They both, like Dominica said, I want someone Italian. He didn't look Italian, Jack, but he was. It all went really well with the family. He's a dog lover. He brings the dog in, Dave. What a move that was. It absolutely broke the heart.
Ninja level stuff, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. So I didn't have any issues with them. She was worried about the fact that she ditched the guy at the altar and was worried about that and had said that she'd been married, hadn't she? Sorry.
Yeah,
married, but she was going to ditch him at the altar, sorry, and all that. And she was worried about that, which really has no bearing on anything, but she did admit it to her friends and things like that. So that was quite nice. But as they progressed again, I didn't see anything at the moment with them two. They'd done the business together. They're really intimate and everything. And yeah, it seemed pretty sweet, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Dominica really was hung up about the whole divorce thing. And I guess, you know what I don't think I'd really seen before, Chris, is the Aussie kind of... Dominica and Jack are as Aussie as they come, right? But they're convinced they're Italian. They're fucking Joey Trippiani Italian for me. And it's something I associate more with people from the US, people who are like, I'm Italian or I'm Irish, and they hang on to that heritage of wherever their, great grandfather came from or what, whatever it is. So I just found it genuinely interesting that, oh, right, they identify themselves as being Italian as well. So even though clearly they're Australian. So, I think after they got over that whole, well, I'm divorced, and I thought Jack handled it brilliantly. I mean, you'd have to be one judgy fucker. And if you were, you'd be great on this show. But, really one judgy fucker to say, oh, well, you're 29 and you're divorced. Fucking hell. I mean, I'd have no room to talk, would I? So, I just don't think it's as big a deal as she was making out. But, if he had been a judgy fucker, maybe he'd have taken a different reaction and then that would have sent that one into the toilet fairly quickly. But yeah, I think I can see these actually growing. They're going to hit bumps in the road, aren't they? Of course they are. And if they don't after week 2 or 3, the producers will work fucking hard to make sure they do. So, but I do think they seem to have a genuine connection there and something to build on.
Yeah, I do. I'm with you on that, David. And these were sort of the shiny lights of this experiment could actually work. And then I'm saving, I think, the best for last. I would probably save the best for last. But then we get Selena and Cody, and there's a bit of drama with them, Dave. He looks a lot like Brett from Series 8. The guy with the slick back hair.
Oh, yeah. You mean the Brett? Brett.
Booker. Booker. She's fucking giving him shit, wasn't she? But he looked very, very similar to him. And they started off well. And Selena had said, her mum and dad had never approved and things like that. And she had the thing with the family, loved the mum's plastic cover on the table, Dave. That is old school. You're not wrecking my table and spilling any shit on it. That was bright red. Her mum and dad were there. And she's of Asian descent. So it was like, worried about that, what the backdrop was. Cody coming, seemed pretty sweet. As soon as we got to the truth fucking game, Dave, it went to shit. That was awful. He should have lied, Dave. I know, so he shouldn't have lied, but he should have phrased it worse. And the fact that he couldn't,
I don't think he could have phrased it worse. Phrased it better, you mean?
Better, sorry. It was awful, wasn't it? I was so curling, but brilliant TV.
Yeah, Selena's got a bit of a look like Alana from the last series.
Yes.
And honestly, Chris, I'm sat there with my looking at the screen through my fingers, and I'm thinking, do you think you're fucking Brad Pitt or something? Selena is out of his league for me. And he's like, oh yeah, my the schlong doesn't join up with the head. I can see you beautiful. Basically he was saying he's just not sexually attracted to her at all. There are a million things he could have said, about the fact it's very early, you're stunning, but it takes me a while to build up that emotional connection kind of thing. He could have said so many things, but basically, I felt like he just made her feel like shit. Like she wasn't attractive at all. He just wasn't really into her. And I was like, fucking hell, I think this is a less dull couple than I thought. I am going to enjoy this couple.
Yeah. And they had a massage, didn't they? A bit like we had with Mitch and Ella. They had a massage, and she's like, I'll take my pants off if you want. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah, whatever. Not so fast.
But then he's massage, right? So Mitch does a massage on Ella. She's got a bra undone. He's massaging her bum, his legs. It's really, you can see it's like an erotic like massage. Fucking Cody's there like, this is the third vertebrae on the thingy. This is the thingy dorsine. And I'm like, he's talking about fucking which one of these three is it? And I'm like, you boring fucker. What the hell is this massage? Then she had to say to him, can you just calm it down a bit? He was giving her a fucking sports massage.
Really get deep into the tissue there.
If you've ever had a sports massage, they are one of the worst things you can ever have. They are awful. However, brilliant for your body. And he was literally giving her that massage. And I'm like, you're a knobhead, mate. You should be treating her like a queen, and he isn't at the moment. And I don't think it's an arrogance thing. I think it's just he's got a lack of self-awareness, Dave. And it wasn't like he was trying to be an arse with her, but his wording, the way
he's just really good at it.
Yeah, he was just good at being awkward and just weird. Well, that was brilliant, that.
Yeah, it's a good callback. I hadn't thought of the Brett thing, but I think Brett had a bit about him, didn't he? You could see he was kind of quirky. When he turned up for his wedding, he had like the red velvet suit kind of thing. I thought Brett was an interesting character, whereas Cody just seems bland and there's something off about him. But I don't see these walking out as such, but I see there being, because of that awkwardness, and like just saying stupid shit. I mean, can you imagine when the ranking comes into it? They rank all the other women in order, and Cody's like, yeah, I put you at the bottom somewhere or something like that. I could just see that sort of thing happening. So again, this couple have got no chance, but I am happy they're here.
Yes. And I've got to save the best to last, Dave. Absolutely. For me. So we had Tamara and Brent. We're thinking, oh, these are going to be the ones, the problem couple. Wasn't sure on them. We've talked about it. Selin and Anthony were the worst. But then we get Andrew from Texas and Holly, who's 36, and he's telling us she wants kids. She's not had any children. She's desperate to have kids. Andrew has got a young girl. And this was I thought these two were the best of the lot, Dave, because it started off, he was just being Mr. Nice Guy to the family, everything, until her mum went, you're not from Texas, are you? And he's like, yep. And then Holly, you should never, ever presume anything. We all do it. We all make biases and assumptions on people when you introduce where you live or where, different things. But she had this real hang up about being from Texas. She thought basically he was the adoptive son of Donald Trump, didn't she, Dave? It was so presumptuous of her and her mum. I was thinking, what narrow-minded people. Really, really strange.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought, how judgy are you? You know, you've literally Texas is fucking massive, Chris.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive. And you just are placing him in that box of just, he's got a 10-gallon hat, Spurs, and Republican, you know, ranching or what is it? What they call with the cattle when they did it in like City Slickers and
the Dallas and stuff. They're like ranchers, aren't they? That's what they are usually. Like
but
cowboys.
I thought at the wedding, Andrew came off really well. He just seemed really chilled, really normal. Did look like a bit of a rugby player, Chris. You notice the ears?
Yeah, saw that, Dave. I said rugby or jiu-jitsu because you usually get the ears from that. But one of the other, either way, he looks like he's a tough lad.
Right, okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he can handle himself. I associate it more with the rugby when they're in the scrum and stuff. You see him with the old cauliflower ears. But yeah, and she just came across quite horribly, and I thought, oh, you're nasty, but they kind of kept it together. But the tables turned, didn't they, Chris? In quite a spectacular way. So she's kind of, again, she's thawing out a bit, and it comes to light that basically they'd been intimate, and Andrew didn't enjoy it really. He says that basically he's had one night stands that were more into him than she was. And basically, Chris, I think he was just saying you're a bit shit at sex. Like you just fucking lay there and did nothing. And you're going to have to work a bit fucking harder. No, it's just like, can you fucking hear yourself? I mean, I thought out of all 4 episodes, that was the most brutal part of any of it. And I couldn't believe it. And that fucking nice guy, Veneer, disappeared very quickly because I tell you what, Chris, I've got big question marks about Andrew. He's moved to Australia for a girl, apparently, but that didn't work out. And then 3 years later, he's had his daughter with, again, with a woman who he's not actually with now. He's talking about all these one night stands that he's had and everything. It's like, I think this guy might be a bit of a player, but but whether you're a player or not, you don't fucking say that to someone, do you?
No, and I'm with you. I mean, like we were talking about Cody. I thought Andrew basically lost the whole argument that he had because me and Sam was sat and Sam went, fucking, what, she just lay there or something? I said, I think so. I said, in no my words, but what, and we even said that. She's like, well, who is he to judge? Maybe he's fucking shit, Dave. And she's like, well, this is pretty crap, really. He was like, how do you know? And he's like, yeah, the sex is one. I mean, I will admit, Dave, the one bit that I thought was really awkward and I did think put her in a bad position was when he got into the hot tub naked, because that was against her wishes. He didn't do anything. I'm not being as dramatic as that, but it was the fact that whether she liked it or not, he's got his fucking chopper out, shall we say, and he's getting in the hot tub whether she likes it or not. And she looked completely awkward. She wasn't at the stage to say to him, let's get naked. And he's like, fuck this. I like sex. Let's just fuck it. I did find that. I thought that was a bit naughty, to be honest, for him to do that.
I mean, I'd have to think it's not real. It's not Big Brother reality TV, is it? I'm pretty sure there's a lights, camera, action kind of thing. So, the camera was in the perfect place, wasn't it? See his arse when he drops the robe and stuff. I'd be really surprised if she didn't know that was coming.
What?
We are on fire with the unintentional double entendres today.
These double entendres,
I'll tell you what, Chris, I know you've watched the first episode, but episode 2 of Pam and Tommy, there is a scene in that where you'll be going, what the fuck is happening? It's about 12 minutes in.
All right, okay,
I'm going to say no more.
Right,
but
okay.
Proper what the fuck moment. Yeah, so I don't know. I never thought about it that way, to be honest. You might have a good point there. I'm thinking she probably knows it. He's going to drop the robe. If she didn't, yeah, it is a bit naughty, isn't it? I mean, they're not really married. They're sort of pretend reality TV married.
Yeah.
And it's still, a stranger. So yeah, you might have a point there.
Yeah, and that's not me just going with, everyone's offended. Like, I've got to talk. I just could see that look on the face of like, oh, maybe you're right. It is a lights, camera, action, Bachelor style. We're going to do this take again. And maybe she's seen it too many times. She's like, I don't need to fucking see it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's that. I don't know, but it seemed awkward. But we have got, Dave, 2 more couples that have still to be wed. So we'll see them hopefully in episode 5. We've got Sam and Al. Good old Al. I am the prettiest guy there. Don't think you are. I agree.
He does look a bit like Ronaldo, doesn't he?
Ronaldo.
I'm sure he milks that.
Well, I was thinking when people put it on Twitter, he's the Ronaldo you buy from Wish, Dave. Like you want Cristiano Ronaldo. And you get the lookalike, don't you, for fucking about a $5. So he has got Ronaldo, though. I'll give you that. He has got Ronaldo look about him. And then we've got Olivia and Jackson as well. So let's see. But Al looks like a dick, talks like a dick, loves himself. Yeah. I mean, he's doing that VT even doing
weights. Would he lollipop himself?
He could lollipop himself. I do. I tell you what, so about that Pam and Tommy thing, I know it was awful that video got released, but fuck me, Tommy Lee is a wanker. I know Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes in the Marvel stuff, the Winter Soldier, he plays him brilliantly, but Tommy Lee, anyone who's not watched on Disney Plus, get on it, guys. He's a fucking dick.
Well, it's on Hulu, isn't it?
Hulu in America and that, yeah.
In America. And I just find it wholly amusing that you've got this sex tape scandal, and I can watch it here on my Disney Plus subscription. And it's going to be a bit lewd now, but basically in the first episode, very early on, you basically got bloody Pam and Tommy going for it, haven't you? Upstairs, everyone's working downstairs. She's like, "Fuck my tight little pussy." Fucking hell, I'm watching this on Disney. What's going on? But honestly, episode 2, 12 minutes. I'm sure it's about 12 minutes in. I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Did you have your thing, your ibuprofen fucking rub, did you there, or what? Is your shoulder put out? Is it? Is that what you're alluding to? No. Don't say anything. I
won't say anything. I'm not going to spoil it.
All right, brilliant. But anyway, Dave, what a great start to this series. Have you got anything else before we do our thanks to everyone?
No, I think the only thing I'd say is I like the way they're staggering the couples. I know they've done this in the previous seasons, but I feel it more now. Maybe because we've been through a couple of seasons now. But I like the fact they're not doing a whole batch of weddings in the first week and then the honeymoons in week 2. Because I find the weddings a bit hard to get through.
Yeah.
It's when you get to the stupid things they say to each other that it gets funny to me. So, yeah, I'm glad they staggered it a bit. I know it means that we're obviously seeing a couple of the weddings next week, but I'm cool with that. It'd be interesting to see if they do the same as they did last season as well. So, if you have a few couples drop out, you get some new ones coming in as well. And so, yeah, Chris, we are back on it, and I'm loving it.
I'm loving it, mate. Absolutely amazing stuff. So, guys, big thank you as always. Get over to Patreon, patreon.com/CD RealityCast if you want to support us a little bit more. We do appreciate everybody who's supporting us now, past and present. Thank you, guys. You're going to follow us on social media at CD RealityCast. And if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. And I know I say it every few episodes, but if you can, and you've got a couple of minutes, please drop me and Dave a review on the show. We do appreciate it, and we'll read them out as well. And any letters like we did have last week, or emails, should I say, Dave will read them out with great pleasure, especially if it's against me. So, roll call of honor, guys. Big thanks to Kent Gustafson, Lucky Lulu Green, our great friend Lauren, creeping there, Dave, Susan, Priscilla, Dee Dee, Katie, Libby, Helen, Joanna, Zoe, Amy, Noreen, Brianna, Helen, Keith, and Michelle. So thank you so much, guys. It's been really good. And like I say, Pam and Tommy, something completely different. It's not reality-based, but my God, it's a lot of fun from that first episode, at least, anyway.
It definitely is. We've got 3 episodes out at the minute, and definitely a lot of fun is had by old Chris.
Say no more. There you go.
All right, mate. Well, it's been brilliant to get back on the maths stream. We'll be back. I'm sure we'll cover The Bachelor, won't we, this week?
Yes, we will.
And next weekend there'll be another 4 episodes of maths to discuss.
Good stuff. Right, take care, mate, and see you later.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.